Is that working? Okay. Okay. One for later. I can't remember if they've done that before on there. If they like care about that. Mm. Right? It's like, no, a freaking featureless triangle. Oh god. Even if it's just like nothing. Mm. Oh yeah. Oh, heck. Okay, that's gone. There we go. Nice. I remember Degrassi being really popular when I was like a kid. Is it like still going? Or are you watching the older series? Mm-hmm. Not growing up. Try one of these little chocolate hamburgers. Mm. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, they like remade it or something? That makes sense. Probably wanted to update it for a modern audience. I'm running out of tea. Okay. This picture's taking a lot of space, so I'll just find it later. Welcome. Okay. It's character details. I have this one friend who just loves commissioning like character designs for D&D sessions. I've done a few for her so far. They're usually mages of different types. Big fan of mages. And this is the, I guess the, what's it called? The subclass? Okay, Wizard Order of Scribes. Yeah, definitely a huge nerd. Pretty much everyone I hang out with is a huge nerd. Usually like PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, stuff like that. I only only do commissions for people I already know, or at least am acquainted with. For these ones, I usually I treat it kind of like a dress-up game. Oh, that sucks. I wonder how people do stuff over there then. I'm so used to artists over here just being like, oh, here's my info, and then doing stuff, so maybe it's just different services. How, but the furries have got to have it figured out. The Croatian furries have got to have it figured out about how to get payments through for commissions, because furries love commissions. Mm, yeah, for these, I'll go with the information I'm given. Like my friend gave me a sort of a character inspo, and she's wearing like a sort of like a school uniform, but this character would be like out of a high school, so I might give her elements of that, like a vest and a tartan skirt, but like make the skirt longer, and this wants to look adventure-y. So I'll come up with some different like quick outfit sketches and hair sketches and like faces, maybe like what sort of personality should I try to put through this character, and come up with accessories and stuff like that. Like this one has a spell book that is also like an AI, so I can come up with designs for the spell book, which is an important prop for a character. Huh. Yeah. There's a couple places in town. Oh yeah, I should have this open for the customary video links and songs and whatnot. Oh man, I don't need a lot of space for the drawings. It's just sketches. Let me like squish this over here. Oh hell yeah, I love Rage. Pretty sure I remember this song. he got a gun at a school dance because he got caught. Oh my god. Yeah, it sounds like one of those characters who just, instead of learning to be a better person, they just actively get worse on purpose. I hope they get a really big comeuppance. What the... This has pretty good contrast for like a war scene. Like a lot of it's like black, gray, and brown, but then the bright bursts of yellow and
Of all
orange
the things
are like...
I've seen on the battlefields of the frontier,
It's
the
pretty
pilot
well lit,
is the true dominant
but not
force.
washed out. Would you look at that?
Fast and agile. Graceful, yet devastating. Perceptive, resourceful, and relentless. A pilot sees the world differently. Sheer walls become flanking routes. Pilots fight differently.
Really good movement and transition there.
Experienced in deception and maneuver, even overwhelming odds shift in their favor. But what truly separates the pilot from all the grunts and machines of the battlefield is the bond between a pilot and a Titan.
It's so cute how the robot like grabs the pilot and like picks them up, is like, here you go, buddy, and it puts them into the cockpit. That's just really cute.
When linked to a Titan, a pilot can only be stopped by overwhelming force or an equal. The frontier has been the only home I've ever known. For years, our lands have been destroyed by the IMC, forcefully taking our resources, polluting and destroying our planets,
Heck.
and killing us off if we try to resist. Despite recent victories at Demeter and beyond, we have a long way to go before the IMC is defeated.
Okay, fighting against some
Now,
sort of evil
I serve as a
organization.
rifleman in the militia, fighting to free the frontier. I'm a long way from becoming a pilot. But when that day comes, I hope I can live up to the honor.
I think the mechs in this game look really cool. Like, they seem like a good, balance between, like, looking cool and feeling really functional. And there's kind of feel like they have enough detail where it looks like, yeah, they're a big machine made of mechanical parts and there's complex machinery, but not so overly complicated where it's annoying to look at. Rip in peace, snakes. Died of having to witness the horrible bastard character. Yeah, maybe someone will pick up the story. Sort of like maybe perusing the book, or could also have it open with the fingers there. Oh, cool. Oh, damn, those are really nice. There's like doll modding videos on in the background, and like, god dang, those shoes look really nice. I'd watch it. Just reading and reacting to the entire Guilty Gear wiki. It's like, let's read. Nice. I like it when a character like grows on you. Oh, cool. Oh, she's the rock and roll witch. She looks really cool. I won't break you yet. I haven't told you how unfortunate it is that you were born at all, right? Ino to Robokai. Ino is a major character in the Guilty Gear series. She is a time-traveling musician who seems to derive pleasure from tormenting others, and is one of that man's three servants alongside Raven and Jacko Valentine. Very little is known about her, with a report on her in Guilty Gear XX considering entirely of unknown, repeated several times over. Alias Musician in Red, Kurenai no Gakushi, Crimson Minstrel, The Calamity, Sayaku. Race human, gender female, age unknown, height 165 centimeters, weight 45 kilograms. Art. I mean, I know she's a little bit short, but with that weight distribution, is she really just 101? That seems a little low weight, I've gotta say. Anyway, blood type AB, origin unknown, birthday November 25th, eye color multicolored. Oh, really? Oh, cool. Freaking Schrodinger's gone over there. Hobbies, anything fun, coded word games, and teasing. Likes, the first is a secret, her guitar, and youth. Okay. Dislikes, people who don't let her have fun, and milk. Design. Ino has black hair and a bob cut, a fair complexion, red lips, and a mole on her left cheek. While she is normally depicted as having green eyes in artwork, her irises are multicolored, which means, as shown in-game in Guilty Gear Xrd? Guilty Gear Xrd, that they shift constantly. Ino wears a red witch hat that has a skull face on it, and it's badass. Her black leather choker with a gold ring around the neck is connected to her shoulderless red jacket that she can easily take off and put on. She has red miniskirt and thigh-high heel boots. Heel boots? Not heeled? Okay. Thigh-high heeled boots and black fingerless gloves. She is always carrying her surf green colored Duesenberg Star Player 2 guitar named Marlene. This remains basically the same up until Strive, where she gains the addition of a black short-sleeved top with an open collar and a bra-like design. Her iconic red jacket is no longer connected to her choker and bears prominent Venus symbols on the folds. Instead of her miniskirt, she wears short shorts that are open on one side and along two long flowing coattails that are attached to a large belt. Wait, the coattails are just attached to a belt? I love weird butt capes in character designs. They just have a cape on their butt. It's weird, but it can look kind of cool sometimes. Or is it? The belt bears a golden cross, and there is also a silver 9. Lastly, her hat now bears a silver ankh toward the top. Personality. Wicked and cruel, Ino is a manipulative woman who seems to have no qualms about hurting other people. Girl boss. And for whom people have no meaning behind their ability to amuse her. She has no problem acting personable if she wants to, but she considers all of humanity to be beneath her, that man included, and has a vicious nature that quickly rises to the surface whenever someone challenges her. Ino also has a problem using her feminine features to manipulate and deceive men. Her every word and action bursts with sexuality, usually using musical references as double entendres. Fully aware of her own eccentricities, she claims to be dedicated to that man's goals and ideals, and is intrigued by his scheme. But in truth, she only works for her own agenda. Self-reliant to a fault and unwilling to throw away her own will no matter what, Ino is motivated by a fixation with what she calls tomorrow, due to her origins. Despite her selfish demeanor, Ino has shown some flashes of remorse at her impulsive reactions, specifically with Axel, perhaps due to being fellow vagabonds, and to a lesser extent with Raven. Her apathy, not unlike Raven, seems to be a result of reality becoming akin to a place of fiction to her, her time manipulation powers making Ino lose all sense of value. We love a nihilistic uber bitch. Yeah, Guilty Gear XX. The Xrd is really weird to me. I'm guessing it's like instead of third, or wait, that's the only one, because it's like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. There's no other Erd. It's, why didn't they call it X? I don't freaking know. Xerd. Jesus Christ. Yeah, they do tend to have a lot of belts. I'm a big fan of the ridiculous amount of belts. Just a second. Eno's origin lies somewhere during the Hundred-Year Crusades that brought humanity to the brink of extinction. During the war, the people's desire for a brighter tomorrow was focused on the backyard. The what? And was so strong that it resulted in single magical foci. Okay. Don't know what that is. Thus, the whole of creation was focused into a single organism. The backyard interpreted this as an error that would destroy the world and sealed that consciousness away in a single human girl's body, placing within it all the irregularities. However, this was the backyard's first mistake, and the resulting entity was all-powerful. Whoopsie daisies! At some point, the original discovered the girl and decided that the world was being torn from its origin, and that, burdened with mankind's desire, she was on the verge of ascending to godhood. Posture check. He reluctantly took away her human desire, and with it half of her power, robbing her of her future to preserve that of humanity, leaving her with only her name. Okay, so she almost became a god, but then someone nerfed her. The result was Eno. Although she was completely unaware of her own nature. Through a freak miracle, her individual ID also overlapped with Axel Lowe's, which resulted in his time slips. There are no other details regarding her past, but Eno, without knowing why, fixated on changing the dull future that awaited humanity, took it upon herself to change their bleak future no matter what. Yet no matter how many times she repeated history, the future always converged on a single point. Yeah, that sounds frustrating. Like Homura from Madoka Magica. Guilty Gear XX. Taking it upon herself to eliminate anyone or anything that stands in that man's way, Eno decides to lay a trap for Soul. She does so by wrecking the May ship and pushing Dizzy off the ship despite May's attempts to stop her. Eno meets Axel Lowe and tells him to let Soul know that she is looking for him. She convinces Eddie that his new host cannot be human, and he gives fake bounty contracts to Bridget and Jam Kurataberry. Kurataberry. In one ending, Soul comes to confront her, but Eno defeats and almost kills him. Raven intervenes and orders her to stand down, and that man is forced to punish Eno for her rampage while pleading Soul to live on. Pleading Soul? In her second ending, Dizzy questions Eno's cruelty and unleashes her hidden power to protect her friends, overwhelming Eno completely. Very anime. In her third ending, Eno defeats Dizzy and May comes to her rescue, seeing for herself the power of the Japanese. Seeing for herself the power of the Japanese, Eno decides to take May as research material for that man. For disobeying that man's orders, Eno is detained but refuses to meet her and end in such a way. Hold on. In order to kill Soul and regain her honor, she escapes and, thinking she is doing what that man wants, attacks Soul but realizes that she can't take him head on and begins building energy up to transport Soul to an unknown location and makes him fight his past self. Okay. Got some frickin' video game stuff going on here. Despite her, it is a video game, but like still. Despite her trick, Soul survives, and Eno is instead frozen in time by that man with Anji Mito's help. In her other ending, Eno is defeated at the hands of a bloodlusted Baiken and is stabbed repeatedly, thus leading to her death. Like, I know that the thing is, like, there, but I'll check out more of this the next time my pen dies. Throat's getting tired. Alright. As hopefully your favorite character lasts. Okay, they had X and the why freaking Xerd? Well, I guess if they used XXX, people would assume it was a porno because that's usually for erotic material. Yes, I'm being actively killed by the Guilty Gear Lords. Is something. And I'm a Homestuck fan. I don't know how big the spell book should be, but I go down like that. It'd be cool if the book was like it has straps around it so it can become a bag that you can just like open anytime you want. Yeah, I've seen that meme where it's freaking her head is like this and then her arms are like this and then her back freaking goes backward and then her ass is up here and then her legs are just like going way the hell out and it absolutely spine breaking anatomy, just terrifying to look at. Like there are freaking like official figures you can get of various characters doing that pose, and the more I look at it, the more I hate it. Mm. Ah. It went away. But yeah, that freaking oh yeah, and apparently there are people who are who actually try to do the pose. Hate looking at that. It's like, yeah, you have to be a yoga master to be able to pull that off.
I hope seeing this makes your day better.
It made it worse, thank you. Is Twitch trying to eat me off the platform for this? Maybe I should pause the video. Like, they're not doing anything but breaking their spines. It's fine, it's just advanced yoga. The most sexual one is, well, I don't know, that probably depends on people's preference. Yeah, in the animation, she's freaking, like, humping the air. It looks horrible. Stop that. This need to be a bit shorter. Kind of try to keep her proportions somewhat equal. Right? Freaking, what the hell are they called? Would an osteologist count? Possibly. Soul, bad guy. His name is literally Bad Guy. Oh yeah, this character. Yeah, there's like... there's like, here's a belt, there's, I can't tell if that's another belt just coming off there because that connects to that one, so that might be an extra belt. And then I wouldn't be surprised if there's belts holding up these two arms here. And there's extra belts on top of a belt, and then there's two belts holding this weird little loincloth on, and then these things on the legs look sort of like belts, and then he's got like buckles on the pants. Little shoe bits. Yo, dog, I heard you like belts, so we put belts on your belt so you can wear belts while you wear belts. What's this for now? Back like that. Eh, eh. Yeah, that guy's design would. I swear to God. I don't know what the hell is wrong with my trackpad, but like. It's like region of where I can do a left click is all the way over on the left and just keeps moving. I don't think I have. Yeah, I can't remember if I've seen season 3. Like, I feel like I have, but also I don't know. Pretty sure I did. Wait, now I can't freaking remember. Oh, it gives the whole thing of each one, huh? Oh, okay. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I remember that. Freaking book. I feel like I remember that. Okay, I'm gonna say I've only seen seasons 1 and 2. Also, I gotta run to the restroom real quick. Let me. Which one was that? Around the end of the time. Oh no, it must be playing and I forgot something. Yeah, just imagine like static and like those things where they like slow a song down to 300%. That's usually my brain most of the time. Oh yeah, that is the Dementia album. Actually, like, let that play in the background one day. The whole, like, 6 hours of it. It's really weird to have as background noise. Nice. I am rooting for your favorite character. I'm like trying to get these sketches out, and though I'd much rather continue playing Muse Dash until my eyes roll sideways out of my head from trying to keep up with the constantly scrolling screen. No one needs that. No one deserves that pain. No, don't jinx it. A psychotic brother might kill him. It's like, I know it was a show that was made years ago, but don't jinx it. That leggy is not long enough. Hand holding. Strap is holding the bag on. Okay, mush this in the corner. That's the opposite for me. I hate typing on like a touch screen because I'm constantly typoing. I mean, I constantly typo on keyboard too, but it's like way worse on the touch screen. I hate the focus on making everything touch screens. seeing like tech conventions and stuff where people come up and be like, we're looking for a future with no keyboards. We don't want keyboards. We want everything to be touchscreens. And I was like, what? It's like, why do you hate the clicky clacky so much? No appreciation for a good solid textile, like not textile, tactile input. And my 500 tabs, each one with a different article about how good it is to clicky clacky on a keyboard. Headbang to this aggressive music and it'll be cathartic and help you with your frustration. Grab the popcorn, snakes, watching the grass. Definitely sounds like they need some help on that job. Quebec is right there. Yeah, I also have no fucking clue. Like, my most listened to genre is probably like emo rock and the kind of stuff you hear in rhythm games where it's all like bouncy anime music, future funk, and stuff like that. I don't really have much of a preference. I will listen to pretty much anything. as there's like parts of it that aren't annoying. There are a lot of game studios in Montreal, huh? Pause for the stretch check. I can still like feel my neck trying to like do a spasm. It's just more than weeks. Yesterday I was doing a bunch of nonsense, and tomorrow I'm gonna do a bunch of nonsense. I don't know which meme song to sound so good you're referring to because I like a lot of meme songs, but I'll let this one in first. How long I've been drawing, I always manage to, like, I'll start drawing a humanoid figure, and I'll draw the head way too far down on the page for, like, the feet to fit, for, like, the proportions I'm going for. I've never learned to stop doing that. The hectic energy of orchestral South Park theme invaded her head. Is it? Yeah, that's Snakes. I got confused about who was typing. Alright. This does sound familiar. These are thin legs. What are you talking about? You've been playing Genshin Impact. Ah, I see.
And if I had a car, I would trade in my car. If I had a gun, traded my gun. Honey, we ran from the country when we rushed to the city. And now there's nothing to be done, there's nothing to be done.
Yeah, that guy sounds horrible.
There's nothing to be done. I want to buy you something, but I don't have any money. No, I don't have any money. I want to buy you something, but I don't have any money. No, I don't have any money.
Over here. This is really weird. Angle of the hands at, so I'm just gonna leave it as a blob for now. I don't know if wizards cast like lightning spells from their hands, where she has like a staff or something. So she uses like lightning powers to go with lightning ball. Oh no, she's a horrible influence. Hold up, bun. Get out of here. Lightning, lightning. It opens, well, if it opens from the front here, then this part will go around here, and then the other will go around the back. Stretching my neck out a little bit. I don't know whether or not to recommend an album I really like, because it's really rough and grungy. There's like hard beats to it. There's just kind of like a weird sound to it. I really like it because the vocals are like, most of the vocals are like sort of ditzy Valley Girl. The themes in the songs are really dark, and the music is like really hard. And I love the contrast. This game series has some really cool music in it. ship's theme? I can't remember. Straight here, so it's different ways for it to straight here. Yeah, I don't know too much about the series, but I don't remember any uh like seeing any fan art or images of her or anything. I think this one was like before, but it's cool. I got the last tiny drizzle in my tea. I've been using an iron teapot for a while. It like lost its iron flavor, and I kind of like the iron flavor. It's still a great little teapot, but I'm thinking like getting another one just so I can have that iron flavor again. I think the original character has sort of like funny bangs and little side things. Julep's totally not the same character ripoff design. She's got like Hime bangs. Oh.
I don't believe in any miracles. I risk a lot every day. Gambling's only for
That's
fools.
pretty neat.
Take nothing for granted. If you don't seize the chance, it's over for you. Life never goes the way you want. That's how it is. No matter what happens, face it all head on. Whoa, fight like a tiger, walk in the park, play the hero till I die. Fly like an eagle, soar through the sky, be free till you die.
pretty neat. God, it's always the same side of my neck that starts acting up. Posture check. Yeah, that guy is cool. That's awesome. I haven't watched one of those scary things in a long time, but that's really cool. Dang. I don't know whether to congratulate you on the snow or be like, that sucks. We're doing our like seasonal. I describe the changing of seasons where I live as like someone flipping a light switch up and down really fast, just like because this is like the other day we had like a really heavy windstorm that knocked out power for most of the place, and there was a little bit like a little flurry of snow and some rain with it, but it's mostly just really powerful wind that fucked up some stuff. And then within the next couple of days it was like bright and sunny and calm again, barely a breeze. And the next day it's overcast and freezing. Tomorrow it may be nice again. That would be nice because I'm working on a stupid project I don't really want to work on. I gotta get it done. Yeah, that sucks. I was waiting for it to be warm again. I hate the cold. It makes all of my health problems 10 times worse. Makes my neck spasms worse, makes my joint soreness worse. Makes my being a skinny little twig worse. Got no dang insulation. Much prefer to be roasted alive like a lobster in my own sweat every time I get into my car. It's nice, it's like being in your own personal sauna. Usually when I do those designs, she ends up choosing like the very first one I did, but sometimes it's a different one, so I'm trying to come up with like some interesting designs. I'm trying to think if there's any like easy way to show this character has lightning magic. So maybe one of these will be like a spiky ponytail. She probably won't go for it, but no, something about a high messy ponytail always makes me think of like a fighting character. Just like something to indicate some kind of like wild power. Harnessing volatile energies and all that. Oof. Cool. Yeah, I like y'all. It's a good English word for like a multiple you, a plural you, that is also gender neutral. Yeah, messy ponytails are pretty common, especially in like anime type things. I'm just trying to think of one that's like at least somewhat different from other characters I've designed from the same person. I probably don't even need to be putting that much thought into it, but like, it's fun. Mm-mm. Maybe I'll do it like a different type of twin tails. I really like the sort of bound look.
You make a fair point, right? I guess I'll concede on that.
Well, you sure didn't make it easy. You make quite a good argument, Al. But not good enough to find
This
me
one
out.
also looks like a
For
fighter.
it's already too late. Misa's already made the deal and can already see your name and lifespan. Now all I need is the chance to get that name from her. And I'll write your name in the death note. It's been fun, Al. You know, Al, it's getting late. Maybe it's time you and I head out. Would it be okay if I said goodnight to Misa privately?
Light, don't be so naughty.
That's not what I meant, Misa.
I guess so. The student needs his sleep. But you know, this sitting around has gotten me quite the appetite. How would you two feel about ordering some dinner? My treat, of course.
Dinner? Sounds good to me. Damn it! I should have known it wouldn't be so easy. Even now, he's being cautious. I can't act too suspicious. I just need a few more minutes.
Ooh, yes, please.
Well, what did you have in mind, El?
Fair question. Why don't we order some Wendy's? You and I could split a 4 for 4.
Okay. Wendy's 4 for 4? You think I'm that Denzel? Of course I knew the Wendy's 4 for 4 sandwich, nuggets, fries, and choice of soft drink would barely be enough for the both of us. But of course, you knew I'd think that, didn't you, Ryuzaki? Well, wait. Wouldn't the $5 biggie bag be more appropriate, seeing as it be split between the two of us?
Huh? Very perceptive, Light. I suppose you're right. So I was right. Even though I was the one paying, you still would recommend a more expensive meal. Just as I'd suspect a mass murderer such as yourself to do, Kira. However...
With the 4 for 4 price as close to $5 as it is, it's only the most logical conclusion to add those extra few cents. You can't pin anything on me. Face it, L. This pitiful Hail Mary is pointless.
Let's get Taco Bell instead.
Taco Bell? How interesting.
Mesa, you idiot! What the hell do you think you're doing? Is this some poor attempt to get us alone? Now? Elle can see right through that!
Taco Bell? Why on earth would she suggest Taco Bell? Is this some part of your game, Kira?
There has to be something I'm not seeing here. Wait, Taco Bell was founded in 1962. That was the same year that Marilyn Monroe died.
Marilyn Monroe had 13 letters in her name, and her name made up 2 words, making it 15. Her third film came out in March 15th. Nights of March.
The Romans praise their own god of death, Mors. But why him? Why? Mors, the god of death and casualty. Casualty in Spanish is Baja. The Baja Blast. I get it. She's trying to say she'll kill him, right here and now.
So that's your game.
Yes. Do it, Misa. Tell Elle you want a Baja Blast and secure my position as god of the new world. Do it.
You're
Now.
gonna make a move right here, right now. Now do your worst, Kira. There are cameras all around this room. Every movement you make will be caught and seen by millions. Make your move, Lisa.
Do it.
No!
Wait, can you even get a Big Mac at Taco Bell?
Hamburger.
Hamburg. Like a specific.
Why? Mors, the god of death and casualty. Casualty in Spanish is Baja. The Baja Blast. I get it. She's trying to say she'll kill him, right here and now.
So that's your game.
Yes. Do it, Misa. Tell Elle you want a Baja Blast and secure my position as god of the new world. Do it.
You're
Now.
gonna make a move right here, right now. Now do your worst, Kira. There are cameras all around this room. Every movement you make will be caught and seen by millions. Make your move, Lisa.
Do it.
No!
Wait, can you even get a Big Mac at Taco Bell?
Hamburger.
Can you even get a Big Mac at Taco Bell? It fucking begs a hamburger. Mm. Freaking Death Note abridged. If I have anything interesting in here to share. This guy is fun.
Vertical integration is a concept in business in which a company owns multiple stages of production in order to reduce costs, maximize profits, and streamline the overall operation. For example, Apple manufactures their own hardware. They develop their own software that's then sold through their own stores. I sell t-shirts. Maybe I could screen print my own t-shirts and buy a sweatshop somewhere in Asia and have my clothes sewn together by children. I don't do that, but I could. What if your business was, I don't know, selling human body parts? It would be pretty convenient then to also own a funeral home. Get a nice stock of dead bodies. Well, that's exactly the idea that Megan Hess, an entrepreneur in Colorado, had. but as she soon learned, things can get a little messy when dealing with human remains. So for today's episode, let's talk about the funeral home owner that sold her customers body parts without their consent.
Talk about a side hustle. Alrighty, go about your daily business.
This video is sponsored by NordVPN. A lot of the times, the movies we want to watch are locked to certain regions. For example, recently I was in the mood to watch Planet Terror again. So I go to Netflix, and it's not available right now, but you know where it is available? Canada. With NordVPN's 5,400 plus servers in 59 countries, you have no borders. With just a click, you can look like you're anywhere in the world and consume region-locked media to your heart's content. So I go to NordVPN, I change my location to Canada, and oh, would you look at that? Play now. And now, NordVPN has a new feature called Threat Protection. Threat Protection steps up your cybersecurity, rolling out first via NordVPN's desktop app. Once Threat Protection is on, it protects from malicious sites, downloads, trackers, and intrusive ads. And Threat Protection is constantly on the lookout regardless of whether or not you're actually connected to the VPN. Take control of your internet experience now with NordVPN. Right now you can get a 2-year plan at a huge discount. Plus 1 additional month for free when you go to nordvpn.com/wang. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. That's nordvpn.com/wang or click the link in the description below. Personally, I don't really care what happens to my dead body after I die. I have no use for it anymore. For all I care, you can tie me to the back of a truck and drag me around like Big Boss Man did to the Big Show's father. I realize though that I'm not normal in this regard. So when weird stuff starts happening to people's dead family members' remains, they kind of feel some type of way. So when you die, you got a few options. Among them, you can get buried, you can get cremated, maybe you donate your organs. To tell this story, it's a bit important to distinguish though between organ donations and donating your body to science and research or whatever. You know, you got that organ donation checkbox on the back of your ID. My mother always told me not to check that off because then if you get into an accident, they let you die so they can take your organs. I don't know if that's true, but I feel like if it was true, they wouldn't tell you anyway, so... Regardless, organ donation is heavily regulated in the US. Selling organs for transplants is super illegal, and arrangements for transplants can't be made by for-profit organizations. They must be done by a charity that's registered with the government. Body parts that are sold not for transplants, but say research or educational purposes or things like that, much less regulated. In fact, in the US, there are no federal laws governing this, and very few state laws, and people do make a pretty penny off of this. But we'll get into the exact prices later. I think mostly the context that we've heard about donating your body to science is in kind of a joke context. Like, oh hey, you got a stupid brain there. Scientists should take your brain and study how stupid your brain is. So we know how your stupid brain works, we have a better understanding of what it's like to be stupid. The reality though, it's not so much like that. The reality of it is actually kinda sad. You see, whether you're having regular burial or cremation, dealing with the remains of a deceased family member is really expensive, cost prohibitive for some people. And that sometimes is where they wind up in a business called a body broker. It sounds like something out of Shadowrun. Body brokers are mostly for-profit companies that'll give you low-cost or even free cremations in exchange for being allowed to receive the body as a donation. What a lot of people don't realize though, especially because of the use of the term donation, the body isn't merely being given away for research, but rather the body is sold for a lot of money, often chopped up piece by piece. Very lucrative business, especially if you have a way to guarantee the flow of fresh bodies. For example, say if one were to run a body broker out of a funeral home. In 2017, Reuters did an investigation into the shady side of the body broker business. A lot of horrors were uncovered, like the story of a professionally decapitated woman found in the woods. Shells of HIV-infected heads stacked up among thousands of other body parts. Seminars involving cadavers in hotel ballrooms. And their investigation found that only one such facility, a joint body broker / funeral home, existed in the US. The Sunset Mesa Funeral Directors and Donor Services in Montrose, Colorado, owned by Megan Hess, who is in business with her parents, Shirley and Alan Koch. The operation begins in 2006, and pretty quickly all kinds of deceptions can be found. For example, they had these pamphlets for donor services that read, "Be a hero, be an organ donor." Now, technically, I guess, if you're donating your body for research or education or whatever, it is kind of a heroic thing in a sense. I mean, research does save lives, they do have to figure this stuff out somehow, and the future surgeons of the world do need ways to train. But that's clearly not what's being implied by these pamphlets. You get handed one of these things and you think, oh, I'm gonna die, my kidney is gonna save a kid's life. And on the now defunct website for this company, the deception was even more overt, with a splash page talking about life-saving organ transplants and how many people die waiting for a transplant, and linking to a legitimate but completely unrelated charity that actually does facilitate organ donations, Donate Life Colorado. In a later version of the website, the link to Donate Life Colorado is removed, but the statistics about organ transplants would remain, just a blurb added under Megan's portrait that says, without donation, there is no research, without research, there is no cure. So at least now there's some attempt to give a real idea of what the business is about, even though it's still intentionally misleading. Then there's the issue of the fake qualifications. On her website, Megan claimed to have a doctorate in mortuary science, and in her office she proudly displayed her diploma, a doctorate of funeral services from the University of Mortuary Science. But there's no such degree as Doctor of Funeral Services, and there's no institution called the University of Mortuary Science. When she was questioned about this, all references to it were removed from the website. Ultimately, though, that didn't really matter since no degree was actually required to do this to begin with. Interviews with former employees, though, would reveal more damning insights. For example, there was former employee Carrie Escher. Carrie had mentioned conversations with Shirley Koch, who once again was Hess's mother who worked at the funeral home. She had bragged about all the gold teeth that she had pulled from dead bodies, and even showed her the collection of dead people's gold teeth. And that was just a part of the collection. You see, she had sold a bunch of the teeth the year prior, and she bragged about having used that money to take the family out to Disneyland. But believe it or not, a funeral director removing gold from dead people's mouths is not illegal in most states, including Colorado. Another former employee, Jennifer Henderson, told Reuters a similar story in which Hess bragged about making 40 grand in a month selling bodies. She would make similar brags often, and note that none of the employees that were interviewed had anything to do with the body broker business. They were all on the funeral home side of things, but they just couldn't help but brag about all the money they were making. So why was this so profitable? Let's take a look at how the prices break down. A price quote Hess sent to an Arizona medical training lab in 2016 offered torsos for $1,000 each. A pelvis with upper legs went for $1,200, heads for $500, a knee for $250, and a foot for $125, according to a 2013 donor services price list reviewed by Reuters. These transactions would allegedly be done through Hotmail, which sounds incredibly believable based off of a single glance at this woman. That's a Hotmail haircut if I've ever seen one. But of course, it's not illegal to have 80s hair, and once again, it's not illegal to make money selling dead people's body parts. What is illegal, though, is to sell the parts of people who did not consent to having their parts sold. And with an unusually high number of complaints regarding suspicious remains being given to people, as well as information garnered from the Reuters interviews, the FBI began to take a look into Hess and her operation. Complaints often revolved around cremated remains received by the families being suspicious. For example, one family was initially told that they had lost the remains of their loved one. Eventually, the remains were found, but the family received what they believed to be an unusually light amount of ashes, as well as pieces of a watch, rivets, and a zipper, none of which the deceased was wearing when brought to the funeral home. Perhaps the most damning case, though, is one in which the family actually had their loved one's ashes tested, and they were told that these were not actually ashes. Rather, they had been given a jar of concrete. And in February of 2008, the funeral home would be shut down by the FBI. At the time, not for any of these specific complaints, but because over the course of their investigation, they had found that Hess had not been keeping the cremation and final disposition records that were required by law. Additionally, they had also found that they had disposed of bodies without the proper permits. Note, though, that in the course of the investigation, state investigators had found bags of dried concrete on the facility. News of what was going on with this funeral home began to spread, and any family who had any dealing with it was quickly struck with the reality of what had been going on. In a piece by IBH Fife for the Colorado Sun, she documents her experience with the funeral home. When her father died, she went there simply because it was the cheapest place to get a cremation. And like others, when she received the cremated remains, she was struck by how light they seemed. At the time, though, she just thought maybe that's just how it is. She wasn't really familiar with what it's like to hold a cremated body. But after the news breaks, she starts to look into local online groups and see what people are saying about it. people talking about bodies being sold all over the world, Megan chopping up bodies in the back room with tools from Home Depot. All she's thinking about what might have happened to her father, and then she gets a call from the FBI. The agent gave me the news. Suspecting it is one thing, hearing the details is another. They said she cut him up in the back room of the funeral home, then sold his head, his torso, his arms, his legs below the knees. The only part of him that she didn't sell was...
You gonna go check on him? Okay. Okay,
his
the
thighs.
doggo will be...
She cut his frail old body to pieces and
I'm pretty
pocketed
sure he
the
just
money.
heard Dad, like,
Similar
eating or something,
experiences will be recounted
but
by several people interviewed by Sam
adorable.
Tabachnik of the Denver Post. People holding urns of fake ashes, being told by the FBI that their loved
Check
ones'
the
bodies were
pants
sold
later.
against their will, all seeking justice against the people who deceived them and desecrated their families' bodies. Yet Judy Kressler, who after her father died of lung cancer, agreed to donate some of his body for cancer research. She learned that instead of the donation she had agreed to, his whole body was plastinated and sent to Saudi Arabia. Plastination, if you don't know what that means, it's a way of preserving anatomical specimens. Think like the Body Worlds exhibit. So what was actually in the urn that she had received? After getting an analysis done, it turned out that she was holding a mix of some unknown person's ashes and burnt garbage. It wouldn't be until 2 years later though, in 2020, that Hess and her mother were arrested. Although investigators know that they were alleged to have sold body parts when it was unauthorized, and that when it was authorized they sold more than what was agreed to, the official charges wound up being 6 counts of mail fraud and 3 counts of transporting hazardous materials. The reason for this being that some of the body parts they sold were infected with hepatitis and HIV when they had certified that they were disease-free. So essentially, this was all happening more because the people buying the body parts were getting ripped off. In July of 2022, Hess and Koch would go to trial, revealing some of the inner workings of how they would prey on desperate people, with a general callousness towards the whole thing. For example, you got this one 2014 exchange between Hess and a potential buyer. Meeting with Hospice on the 4th, opening the floodgates of donors, Hess wrote to a prospective body part buyer in 2014. They have 4 or 5 deaths a day. Get ready. How about a deal on full embalmed spines? $950?
I'd buy that for $1.
Both Hess and Koch originally pleaded not guilty. Ultimately, though, they would change to guilty pleas in exchange for reduced sentences and some of the charges being dropped. As of now, Hess is looking at as many as 20 years, but as low as 2 years. A result that is extremely dissatisfactory for a lot of the families affected. The families noted a lack of remorse on their part and an unwillingness to take responsibility for their actions. And they also noted the unreputable sorts of places that the bodies wound up at. For example, one of the facilities that a body was sent to got caught thawing out the body in the parking lot with a garden hose. Ultimately, it seems unlikely that the families are actually going to get the result they would like from this, but sentencing as of now is set for November 7th, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, that's all for now. If you like this video, check out my video about the Tumblr witch who sold stolen human bones to do magic with. I'm out.
Oh yeah, that's a classic one.
Hello everybody, this is Danny from
Don't autoplay on me. Oh right, it's on a playlist. Oh yeah, I want to know the peas.
South Homestead. We're on our porch today shelling peas. These are the Red Ripper peas.
Okay,
they're extremely long. They're probably, let's see, I'm going to say what, 10
around
to 12 inches
12:30,
long.
I'll sign off and go to bed.
Very nice peas. They fill out real well.
What did that character
Make
look like again?
fantastic pea to eat. Now, to me personally, they have a little bit of a peanut taste to them.
Okay, just over
something
that
that
classic
I happen
look.
to enjoy in a pea. They have a kind of a pinkish color to them, kind of like the color of my skin almost on my hand. A lot like a butter pea. If you're familiar with butter peas, they look a lot like that. One of the reasons we like this pea is because of its hardiness. Being we're going into a solar minimum, not knowing exactly which type of solar minimum it is, whether it's a Malter minimum or a Dalton minimum or whatever one it is, these peas have withstood the elements a lot better than any other pea we've had on our property. We've done basically no maintenance to these peas whatsoever other than weeded them out one time, and they're covering like 10 feet wide each plant. It has runners running out at least 10 feet, and they're covered with bees everywhere. So probably in the near future, with the solar minimum being like it is, this is probably going to be our go-to pea because we've had no problems with the aphids on them. I've seen very few stink bugs on them. Now we have regular pink-eye purple hulls planted in a separate spot up here in the front garden, which is probably over 200 yards away from there. We've had multiple problems with the lice on them, or aphids, whichever one you want to call it. We've had just one problem right after another with the pink-eyed purple hulls, and we are working with them as much as possible, trying to make sure that they survive. And it looks like they're going to pull out finally at the end because we pulled up most of it had the aphids on them, so there was just too many. We went in, we tried to do the washing off thing, and that just wasn't working. The Red Rippers seems to be a pea that is extremely hardy here in the Deep South. It seems to be able to take the humidity really well. Doesn't seem to be an issue, so that's going to be our pea to go to, I'm pretty sure, in the future. I'm going to be showing y'all in just a little while some of them that we save for seeds, what they look like, how they shell out, and how you
I'm
save
watching a video about gardening.
next
Hello.
year's planting. Red Ripper is a pea it's a southern cow pea. It got its name field pea. I don't know if it really actually call it got its name, but it's called a southern field pea because these peas were usually went in behind rice or corn or something like that for years and years and years, and it's used as a nitrogen fixer in the soil. It's called like a pea on steroids. Because when it gets to going, man, it takes off. It's often been said that you just leave them alone all summer long.
Sure.
And go back to where they're at, especially if you put them in the cornfield. By the end of summer, it looks like a whole field of kudzu. Not only are they like a field of kudzu,
kudzu is crazy, yeah.
They were actually used by the farmers a lot of times. They would turn their cows in on them at the end of the season, and the cows would go in and graze through, and they would eat the dried peas, and they'd eat the vines and feed on all that. And now these are not green ones that I'm shelling. These are the dry ones. They rattle when you like a baby's rattler when you rattle them, and they're not that hard to shell. They're a little bit hard for me today because I got a place busted on the end of my thumb from picking figs, so it makes it a little bit difficult for me. But they shell out real easy. They usually have about 18 peas. I've been noticing because I'm a little bit OCD when I do things. I've been sitting here counting how many peas is the average in a pod, and these have an average of 18 peas per pod. The thing I like about them is they have, if you've ever eaten peanuts, they have a peanut taste to them. And I like that.
I think it says if you've ever eaten peanuts as if it's an uncommon thing.
So when you go to shell them out, they add up rather quickly. They can real well. That's one thing about it.
This guy's one of them Deep South farmers.
They're good.
Got knowledge
fresh
all about
or
the
dried. You can use them just like you do
beans and the peas.
You can soak them in water, rehydrate them, and cook them. Or you can cook them fresh while they're green. It has a number of different ways you can use them. They're extremely nutritious, full of lots of proteins and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, I know there's like peanut allergies and they're really common. They're just like, Sally, hold on. as well let the little dog back in.
Somewhere like 300
You
years
little
they've been
troublemaker.
around. So that's really good. And there was a point period in time
Tay-wee
back
dog.
when my dad was a kid.
Get down,
that the
baby.
federal government
Do
actually
you actually have to
paid
go out? Do you
people
gotta pee?
to plant
You gotta
these things in the fields to help
Gotta pee?
raise the nutrition
She's extremely
of the
excited
soil
to
so
go
that the
pee.
country.
I swear that dog has too much energy. Yeah, probably the right amount of
have
energy for her type of
enough
dog, but
food
I am too old
and
for it.
fertile enough land to feed themselves. Isn't that amazing that the government would do that? Now they try to take our food away from us and not help us to grow it, but take it away. So I thought that was kind of interesting. My dad was telling me that about how the government used to come in and pay them to plant peas in their fields to raise the nutritional value of the land. I thought that was just amazing. Shows you what kind of time difference in how that we think different in the country now than we used to. This is going to be our go-to fee in the future. We're learning that some things that are the older varieties were there for a reason and for a purpose. And it's
very similar to the shoe she was wearing.
And we're going to just carry that tradition on here at Deep South Homestead because we now have cows and we have goats and stuff like that. We need to be able to raise the fertility of our land, so we're going to start. Should the old expression goes, SHTF happens and you can't come up with any fertilized. Well, we're saving a lot of our own seed and things like this so that we can go back and replant the fields in this to give our land some nutritional value, some nitrogen back in the soil for the following year. So anytime you're shelling out dry peas, don't let it freak you out. The dry peas a lot of times has worms in them. And
a lot of times has
white
worms.
worm about 1/4 of an inch long. Usually
It's
what
a
I'll
little
do
grub.
is when I get
That's
through
just extra
shelling
protein.
these peas, I'll put them in the freezer for about 2 weeks, and that will kill any of those little larvae that's in there and do away with them, and then I can take them out and store my peas for the winter, because if you don't do that, what will happen is you'll store your peas, and come next spring, when it comes time to plant them, you just have a bag full of dust, because those worms will have hatched out in there. And this goes for any peas that you've bought in the store or anything else. They've been done the same exact way. A lot of them have been irradiated or frozen for a little while in order to kill that larva
irradiated
and stop them from being able to eat up by the worms that's in them. So don't let that bother you. It's just normal. So don't be alarmed. Just stick them in the deep freeze for 2 weeks and then take them out, and you should be fine to go. I hope today y'all enjoyed this. It's been a little bit educational for you, so thank you for Deep South Homestead.
Captain. Oh, come on.
I deduced that Kira is homophobic.
I'll kiss him. That'll show I'm gay, and thus not Kira.
If he tries to kiss me, he is hiding something.
Fuck. He might see right through me. I have to try something else. Hey, El, have you heard about gay sex?
Curious. If Kira is indeed homophobic, this should prove Light is innocent, unless he's expecting me to back down. Kira would bluff here, in which case I should... Yes, Light. I will participate in gay sex with you.
Is that from CD's voice?
He called my bluff.
Sounds like him.
Does that mean he knows I'm Kira? That would explain why he thinks I am homophobic. Whatever the case, I can't back down now. That would all but prove I am guilty. Get undressed then.
So, you're a top?
Crap, I didn't think of this. Does Elle think Kira's a top?
Yes, please.
A killer would be.
Clearly, Kira is a bottom in denial. If Light says he likes to top...
If I say I want to top...
It'll prove
I
he
am
is
Kira. I'm a bottom.
So, what about warm-up? Clearly Kira wouldn't have the time for foreplay.
I don't have time.
Hey, Light! What the?
Not now! Get out!
Fucking turn back. Ooh. God. I really like this guy's videos. He's weird. I have to add this to
Welcome.
one of my many watch later playlists. Great stuff. So many of these. All right.
Damn it. Out of birds. I'll have to pay my way to victory.
Hey, Light. What you doing on your phone?
Oh, hey, El. Just taking a break from the investigation with some Angry Birds. Wanna try?
You know, Light, you seem like you really are just one bird
wait,
away.
I was gonna add a backpack
Why
to
not
this.
buy it? I mean, you've come so far.
Maybe. Damn it. He's using this microtransaction to see if I'm Kira. I have to be careful. He's probably already deduced that if I choose to buy the bird, that I'm willing to do whatever it takes for victory. Which might mean I'm Kira. But if I don't...
Then I'd be willingly choosing defeat. And that should be
I
very
freaking
unlike
love
Light and very unlike Kira.
The Death
Of
Note
course,
fan
you
meme
simply
of
could just
just
buy the bird and miss the shot.
making them overthink everything.
Definitely be able to tell. No, I can't be so obvious. My best bet would be to buy the bird and destroy what's left of the pigs. Because that's what Light Yagami would do regardless of if you were Kira. But then...
That would only add to my suspicion. The probability that Light Yagami is Kira would skyrocket.
Damn him. I played right into his hands. I have no choice but to decide. Protect my identity, or destroy the pigs. Damn you, El.
What the fuck is an angry bird?
What the fuck's an angry bird? Alright, I see you, boy. Time is it? Okay, 12:20. I'm gonna look up that song I was listening to earlier. Another of those. I'm trying to think of a song that I was listening to earlier, but all I can think of is. Yeah, that one.
Bitch. And if you look at O.J. Simpson over there, and he has a rather large head, O.J. Simpson in a knit cap from 2 blocks away is still O.J. Simpson. It's no disguise. It's no disguise. It makes no sense. It doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
I've been watching a lot of gardening stuff and trying to learn how to make a worm tower and stuff like that. My worm tower last year was pretty successful.
I'm not done. I'm an expert. I'm the one who was right all along. Better to be laughed at than wrong. I'm an expert in my field. UFology, yes, it's all real. Ancient aliens, it's all true. I'm an expert just like you.
See, Gucci, that's my motherfucking nigga. I hang in the ground with them hit squad killers. Walk like a flame on the hood ass nigga. Riding real slow in the corners, my nigga. Talking about the peanut. Let the party ship the floor. Let the party ship the floor. The dance flow silly. The ladies gon' throw their heads silly. Get silly.
Stop! What was that other song? Can't remember. Yeah. That was it. Disco Night by Ankh. Tiny mini backup spellbook or something. I want to get or make myself a chatelaine, that'd be cool. They're like these little like fancy pins. The brooch can be any style, and they have a bunch of little rings. And they have a bunch of little chains for different lengths. And then you just put stuff that you usually use, like maybe some scissors or a pocket knife. You could have like a little capsule with headache meds in it. You could have a key you always use. Like a freaking cute picture of your cat. I don't know. Usually worn by ladies of the house in Victorian England to show that they had the authority. They walk around jangling their chatelaines around like, I'm the big boss around here, I'm the head honcho. I just think they're pretty. And I think they would be cool as an accessory for any gender. Leggings. Oh, hey, it's 12:30, okay.
You're here, I'm queer, and welcome back to my channel.
Definitely gonna have to check that one out in a minute. Me. Put this back like this for now. Because I just want to look at all the. Look at what I have so far, and then I want to. Oh, wait. Frick. Open that up again. I hate how nothing has little borders on it anymore. It's really annoying. Son of a... There used to be thick borders around the edges of windows. And the older I get, the more shaky my hands get, the harder it is for me to deal with these weird little borderless things. Like, yeah, this technically is a tiny border, but the place where you can choose to, like, move the end around is, like, really small. Needs to be a nice border of, like, at least a few pixels thick, so that you could see where the edges of things were and grab onto it and change it around. Attachments go across here. Put it like that. Okay. Like that. Guess I should make one of these more like traditionally magey. Top of the bag. Ow, ow, ow. I should really save these. Okay. Alright, I saved all of those. Ow, ow, ow. My neck is still complaining, and it's probably still going to be pretty bad tomorrow because I have to do some sanding and refinishing on a rusted up old metal trailer. It's not a great project, but hopefully it'll be done soon. Anyway, that's why my back was all fucked up yesterday and my neck kept spasming and I couldn't work, but hopefully it won't be too bad next time. Okay, if anyone's still there, drink your waters and do your stretches and save your progress and take your meds. Good night.